Hey, we're Toucan, the event and location-based live chat application that simplifies how users connect anonymously. Our team is composed of Nick Alvarez, Rohan Chaudhry, Sahil Hirani, Leon Klein, and David Iorden. In terms of work delegation, Rohan and Leon will work on building the backend, while Sahil, Nick, and David create the front end. All team members will work to bridge the two parts together. Now that we've introduced our project and team, let's dive into what Toucan really is.
As previously mentioned, Toucan is simply an app whose aim is to allow people at an event, for example a KU basketball game or a conference or a hackathon, or even this 581 classroom, to simply communicate with each other. We notice that people are on their phones all the time. Some of you are on your phones right now. Nobody watches every second of a football game or a basketball game, and we millennials have a bad habit of checking our phones all the time and sharing stories and posts on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, everywhere. Maybe you are at a conference or at a hackathon. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to connect with all the talented people around you? Toucan aims to connect these people. So how will this work? It will simply read your location first. It will find the closest events around you, and then it will ask you whether you would like to join one of these events. And keeping with the theme of Toucan, we will refer to event groups as trees and channels as nests. So channels or nests are basically to organize the communication better. Each event will have at least two channels. One where the attendees are interacting with each other, stuff like sharing a picture of a funny poster somebody had in the audience, or commenting on the goal, or asking a question during a hackathon. The other channel will be a way for the organizers to relay important information to the attendees. It can have information like speaker lineup, modifications in schedule, conference agenda for the day, or any updates that they may have for all the attendees. Optionally, there will be a vendors channel where vendors can sell items related to the event. Though Toucan also includes organizers and vendors on its platform, its main focus is still on connecting people at an event or a location. The bulk of a user's time will be spent in the general nest, where they can interact with other users at the event in real time by communicating and liking messages. Again, to keep with the theme of Toucan, we will refer to liking as egging. And no, not the whole throwing egg thing. The general nest will be composed of a live tab and a popular tab. The live tab will, intuitively, be where the live chat takes place, whereas the popular tab will have all the posts and messages and pictures which receive the highest number of eggs. The reasoning for the popular tab is to act as a response for the general nature of live chats where messages move quickly. We wanted to ensure that a message enjoyed by many people is viewable to others who may join the tree at a later point than when the message was initially sent.
Previously, it was mentioned that Toucan allows users to connect anonymously. We know what you're thinking, and yes, users will be anonymous. The only means of identification to users will be usernames. When a user creates an account, we will ask for a username, a password, an email address, a selection of their interests, and the option to become an organizer. Users' email addresses will only be used as a means to verify and ban accounts. This is the only instance where an email will be used. We pledge to never sell or give away any email information as a way to make a quick buck. A user's selection of interests may seem like a dead giveaway for privacy concerns, but it will only ever be used to help personalize the user's experience in-app. We will use these selected interests to recommend trees that our user may be interested in. Privacy is a main concern of ours as well.
So why exactly are we creating Toucan? There are already applications that create events and connect people, but none of them offer a really personalized, in-the-moment method of communicating. Facebook events can be created and have posts added to them, but there's no method of live communication. The only way to communicate with others attending an event is by being invited to an event. These events also act more as a means of providing information to people rather than live connections. The Meetup app follows the same model. The thing that really sets Toucan apart from other event and communication apps is that we combine two really great features: live chats and event information, all in an application that we aim to be simple. Toucan makes it easier for an attendee to view information about an event and get regular updates on the changes to those events. More so, we aim to make it easier to socialize when it gets too loud to talk in a group of people. What we're really trying to do is make socializing apps more efficient.
Let's now jump into app usage. When you open up Toucan, you'll be greeted by our login page. It's fairly generic to provide a simple interface. Clicking the sign in button will log in the user and display the searching page. Once the searching page is loaded, you'll be greeted by the home page. On the home page, you will have all of the trees nearby listed. Up at the top will be the trees that match your interests. Below that will be all nearby trees. Below that will be the trees that the users created, and below that will be the user's private trees. At the top of the page, you'll notice a single navigation bar button item. Clicking on this button will open up our navigation page. You can see that it's split up into two separate parts, a navigation section and a nest section. The navigation part links strictly to the home page so that the user can always make it back home from wherever they are in the application. And at the very bottom is the user settings. Clicking on a tree will open up the general nest. At the top you'll notice paging icons. This is because the general chat is composed of two pages. The first page is a live chat and the second is a popular page, where messages with 50 or more likes, which we refer to as eggs, are located. The idea behind having a popular page is to allow users to view popular messages even if they enter a nest after the messages were sent. In the live chat we can see two messages that have been sent, one by a user named Elon and another by our current user. On the opposite side of each message is an egg icon that can be tapped. Once tapped, the icon is highlighted in gold. The keyboard and message input section follow design patterns of any other chat application to provide a simple interface just as the login screen. Now we open up the navigation page by clicking the navigation bar button item, and we go back to the home page.
When we came up with Toucan, we knew that it had to be cross-platform if we wanted a truly effective project. Because of this, we have chosen to build the app using React Native. By using React Native, we'll be able to have a primary code base built with JavaScript that can be shared between the iOS and Android applications. This does not mean that we will only have a single file representing the app. We will still require separate iOS and Android files that make use of platform-specific components, primarily visual, such as buttons, icons, etc. Using a multi-platform language and environment greatly simplifies our workload and makes it more feasible to have an application that runs on both iOS and Android by the end of the next semester. For our backend, we have chosen to use Google's Firebase. Firebase offers a full backend environment in one easy-to-use software. It provides all necessary backend functionality such as cloud storage through Google Cloud Services, real-time databases, user authentication, and more. The pricing allows for free testing of the application with a generous amount of resources, with options to upgrade when the app is launched and expands. Furthermore, Firebase makes expansions simple. As user count grows, Firebase provides hassle-free scalability support through resource upgrades, crashlytics, performance monitoring, and selective updates. In terms of the Events API, we are still trying to find one that will have the most use in our app. Right now, we have our eyes on the Eventful API, but we are not certain that we will use it and will continue looking for the best alternatives. We do have the option to create our own API to gather events, and while it may not be too difficult, our main constraint here is time. So that sums up the basic foundation of Toucan. Any questions?